program protest, Drum Corps International is proud to present Crossmen!
Well, obviously that was from 2013. But we're in a totally different year now.
You keep me in the dark. I can't hear it. So what'd you play?
I was the cymbal version on the Crossmen YouTube, the cymbal cam.
Oh, okay.
From the amazing cymbal line, who has her own Facebook page, which I totally awesome. But no, it was a cam from the cymbal player during the protest show last year.
Oh, okay.
So that's what that was. You can actually see it. You just can't hear it.
That's right.
And that's just amazing because that's hard work. Those cymbals are not light.
No, they're not. And they spend a lot of time holding them up in the air out in front of them. So you better develop some tenacity.
Yeah, you better develop some massive shoulders.
Yes.
Some Popeye forearms, I will say.
Yes.
So, of course, folks, this is the Crossmen Show, otherwise known as the Bones Hour. My name is Mark Purnell. I'm very proud to present the show, as well as I've got Fred in the studio. It's the first time you and I have been in a long time.
I know. You were on vacation, and I was working or something. I don't know.
Vacations don't feel like vacations sometimes, especially when you have 3 kids and you're carrying all the beach attire and everything. It's work.
Yeah, and I guess we left it up to Rico and Joel to make it happen.
And Joel was having fun with it. I heard he was trying to take my job. And hey, Joel, I wouldn't want your job right now. Just to let you know.
You can feel the pressure.
That's what Fred said when he walked in.
The rubber band is getting pulled taut. Yeah,
because time is coming.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
Time is coming.
November, we're going, yeah, it'll be here before you know it. Guess what? It's here. Yeah, we're moving trailers around. They're all getting, tuned up, inspected, and whatever.
Right.
This morning, the equipment trailer was picked up and brought back to the storage area after its, annual DOT inspection. The food trailer's over at Thermo King getting service, the reefer unit, after its annual inspection. The 2 smaller trailers, they've gone over to Magnum Trailer, and Virgil and that bunch is taking care of them, getting them ready to go. It's happening, Mark.
Have you started getting your clothes packed and everything?
No, I'll wait till the Friday night before I leave.
Friday night? I think there's something going on Friday night before you leave.
Yeah, after I get home, I'll throw some stuff in a bag.
Which is about 11 o'clock, midnight.
Maybe midnight. Yeah. I'll throw some stuff in a bag and I'll be ready.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Maureen will probably encourage me to do things a little differently, and I probably will have my suitcase down there a little earlier than that.
You'll bring the suitcase down like Monday morning, but other than that...
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
So much going on, ladies and gentlemen, across the country. A lot of the Drum Corps International corps are getting ready, as we're talking about. Pack-up's coming. The kids are getting excited.
Yes.
The volunteers are getting excited because here comes the season.
Yeah. Move-ins right around the corner.
So
May 23rd.
That is so soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is so soon. So are you looking forward to another great season?
I am, and I'm pretty excited about this one. I think, sometimes you go, okay, yeah, this is going to be pretty good, and you always start off with positive feelings. But this year, the music was done early, the drill was done ahead of schedule, and we're able to make revisions already. So I just think that we're in a much better place than we were a year ago, and even ahead of the curve as far as getting ready from 2012, which was our most prepared that we were.
So every year it seems like you're trying to get one step further ahead of the game than what you're doing.
Yeah, you learn. You learn from every tour. If you don't, then you're doomed to repeat that stuff.
Right.
And we try to make things better every year. And Ed Devlin, from the design standpoint, he keeps surrounding himself with great people, and there will always be a change or two, and he tries to use that as an opportunity to upgrade those positions. And as long as you're working towards getting better, you should have a better outcome, and that's what we're looking for.
So what would you say would be the biggest difference that you've seen going into this year than what you've seen in years past?
I like the fact that we've been able to watch every bit of drill on the video, and that they've been able to critique it and make whatever revisions or changes. That puts the guard in a better place too, because then the guard staging and all that stuff gets worked out to a higher degree. So I think overall, being that far ahead for that stuff makes a huge difference, because they were even able to teach the first 15 or so sets. And, and see it out on the field, and I think the members got excited about that too. That energized them, and I see that they're all doing assignments between camps. And you can see the level of energy that goes into people doing that and making sure they're better prepared for when they come in.
So obviously you got a lot of new folks because of the age outs or whatever, or school. A lot of folks that aren't aging out, but they've got school or stuff come up.
It changes more, I think, now than it has in the past. Because first off, it's an expensive proposition to do this. So you may not be able to go 5 years in a row or 6 years in a row, or there are some that are able to do that, but not as high a percentage.
Yeah, it was funny because my son tried out for his middle school band. He's in 5th grade this year. He's going up to 6th grade. They had a tryout, and he walked in with his drumsticks. I've told this story before, and the guy goes, "Oh." And, of course, I had my Crossmen shirt on. He's like, "Oh, Crossmen, so you think you're going to be a drummer?" And my son goes, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "Well, I don't need drummers. I need trombone players." And I was like, "Hey, you can do trombone. They have trombones in the Crossmen." So he's like, "Oh, okay." But he was the drum instructor, former tech for the Crossmen. So it's funny how small this world is.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So, but we got a lot of things going on, folks. We do have a giveaway we're going to give it away. And what it is we're going to ask a question, and I know Gary's on the chat line already. He's already a winner of MMX tickets. So, Gary, you're not eligible to play. Fred's not eligible. Obviously, if you're on the staff that are listening at Crossmen World headquarters, you're not eligible to play. But we're going to give away 2 tickets to the MMX on Friday night if you can answer a question, and we're not going to answer it just yet. We're going to ask that here in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's Friday night, June 13th.
Oh,
was that the
was
question?
The answer.
Oh, Mark, I'm sorry.
You got to remember the answer, though. You got to remember that answer. But again, we're going to give away 2 tickets if you can tell us when the MMX is, and don't answer it yet because you're not. We'll do like The Voice. We'll give you the cue on when you should answer that question.
I just didn't want people showing up this Friday.
Yeah, don't show up this Friday. Well, if you show up this Friday, you can see where parking is going to be.
Yeah.
See where the stadium's going to be.
There you go.
You can even pick out your seat if you would like to. However, you're not going to be able to see anything until the MMX date.
Right.
Which is the night before the most greatest 1 mile run ever. And there's been a lot of hub about the 1 mile run.
Well, good. Yeah, I hear that you're spreading the love with all the races that you're doing every weekend and getting the word out to all of the suppliers and shoe stores and everything else.
Yes, and they're going to get, you just brought me, I think, 300 flyers. Those are going out tomorrow to the stores before I head back out of town. Last weekend we were in College Station. I have to think about it. We were in College Station for races on Saturday. They had races Saturday morning and Saturday night, and they had their final review for the Corps on Saturday morning. So I had my Crossman banner up, of course, Saturday night. Folks were coming in going, "Hey, Crossman." I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is Aggies." Obviously, the marching band over there, the Corps Cadets, incredible.
Yeah, that's a big group.
It's a huge group.
People.
Very big.
You can hardly see any green when they're out there on the field. There's a lot of maroon.
Gary is on the chat right now, of course, saying even if I wanted to give them away, he's not going to do it. But the 1 mile run is going to be huge because it's out on Bring Back the Mile as a Twitter. And basically they want to, how back in the day when you and I were growing up, the mile was the distance.
Right.
It wasn't 5K, it wasn't 10K, it wasn't marathon. It is the mile is the set distance.
Right.
So they want everybody to bring that back into middle schools, high schools, and everything. So they've put it out on their Twitter about it, and which has been picked up by Runner's World, Runner Triathlete News. I mean, it's just
great.
It's going crazy. Yeah. So I'm glad y'all are picking it up, but send in the entries. We want the entries.
We want people signing up.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. We love the publicity. I mean, I had someone tweet me yesterday from University of North Carolina. She's an 800-meter runner and mile runner for UNC, and she was, is there because the prize money thing, and she was like, is there like a travel? And I was like, well, yeah, you pay for it. I mean, Hey, we're low budget here. We don't have the money to pay for runners to come in. We have so many Olympians that live in this area. Leo Mazzano, who lives in Austin, obviously Olympian, has contacted me, and I'd love for him to come down, but I'm not paying him to come down for one.
Right.
And he should be able just to run it and not eligible to win, I will say.
Oh, really? Like an exhibition?
Yeah, just be an exhibition. See how fast that guy
Have
runs.
him start at the very back of the pack and watch him
still
pass
run through
everybody.
Give him like a 5-minute. Let everybody have a 5-minute head start.
Maybe Gavin would give him a run for his money.
Gavin James, yeah. Gavin James, of course, winner of last year when we did this. He did it in 5:48. And again, there's prize money, folks. If the first male under 4:30 gets $200, first female under 5 minutes gets $200 on behalf of ISpeakForYou.net and obviously the Crossmen. But there's going to be some folks out there they're going to be going for it. And I feel bad if they run like a 4:31 for a male because they're not getting anything.
Well, you're going to encourage them to do their best.
We are.
So I hope your stopwatch finger is accurate.
Oh, I got my clock on my little iPhone thing here. Like,
okay.
Oops, it said 4:31.
Are we using timers? Or?
Yes, we're using timers,
Okay,
and we'll talk about that. We're gonna have chip timers out there. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Obviously, MMX on Friday night, June 13th, and then the run on June 14th. But there's so much going on, Fred. You got a list right here. So what's going on your list?
Oh, my list is really so I can make sure that I remember all the pieces of music for the summer.
Ooh.
We did, we're gathering all that because they're preparing the different program books that are distributed by DCI. And so anyway, we made the show announcement, Alma Gitana, which means a gypsy soul. And there was a lot of hubbub over that. A lot of people were pretty excited about that. And along with that announcement, we announced the music. The repertoire includes Bulgaria by Peter Erskine, which is an old jazz favorite. Ergin Diado, which is a European song by the Bulgarian Women's Choir. It's real unique, real different, a cappella group.
I bet that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then a real, fan favorite, I would say, is Emmanuel. It's just a beautiful piece of music, and you hear it in lots of different things, but we have our own little special rendition that kind of mimics one of the jazz saxophone players rather than the standard version. Zambra, which is a heavy percussion piece. Crossmen are known for their battery, and we're going to try and show them off a little bit. That's by Ojos de Brujo. And don't say that 3 times fast, right?
I won't even try to do it once.
Yep. And then Habanera from Carmen, G. Bizet, but it's the East Village Opera Company version. So if you do a little YouTube search and pull that up, it's kind of unique and different, and I think very much energetic.
Right.
Okay, so aggressive Crossman type stuff. And then Caravan, which is Juan Tizol, Duke Ellington version. So lots of good stuff in there. Yeah, that's a little bit of a reminder, I think, of the '92 Crossman, the little Caravan tag. So I think people are really jazzed up about it. I think that they will know that this is Crossmen and Crossmen at their finest, and that they will be throwing babies this summer.
Oh, man. So, obviously, the music set, now the design of getting all the intricacies and the parts together.
Yeah, and all of the guard work, that's all getting written. The drill's already done, so the staging of the guard and of the corps is all, pretty much figured out. They... some of the last pieces of the puzzle, the new uniforms were ordered. They'll be in the first week of June, so we'll be ready to go there. The FJM folks promised me that we'll be ready to go.
The rubber band is stretching.
Yes, it is tight, isn't it? And then we have some props, we'll call them, that we'll have on the field. That all that stuff's being constructed. And
now, I remember last year you came in and you were literally constructing pieces at Crossman World Headquarters, and you're bringing them here. You're in the back of the car, and you're bringing her going, oh, look what I just did. And I'm going, oh, you're doing this? Oh, yeah, I'm doing this.
I have a sign-making machine, so every one of those protest signs that were made and were on the field, I had a hand in. So that kept me out of trouble. I think they put props out there so they can keep me, busy and out of their way.
Let's give Fred something to do.
Yeah, give Fred something to do.
So you were talking about the new uniforms. Obviously, they're doing an incredible job to get those in. But how was that received when the Corps saw them?
Oh, you should have heard it. they went wild. We made the announcement of the show, and they went wild. But when they saw the uniform, they tore the place down.
Now, how did you bring
excited.
them out? Obviously, I couldn't be there; I was out of town. But how did you bring them out? Was someone wearing it, or did you just bring it out?
No, the prototype was sent back to FJM,
Okay.
so that they could. There were a few little items that Ed wanted to have modified a little bit, so we wanted them to have that in their hands. But they took a photograph for us and sent it, a pretty high-resolution photograph. And we had a projector, so we projected it up on a screen, and they could see it pretty well, and pretty excited. Now, Ed, before we made the final, he talked to some Crossmen folks and some alum from the early days and showed them, and they were going, yeah, that's Crossmen. It's just a more modern version. So I think everybody is pretty happy with what Ed and the FJM folks and Michael Cesario were able to pull together.
Now, with the Gypsy show, you would assume, you would think, oh, it's going to be like a Gypsy uniform. It's going to be totally different. Obviously, you got to keep the Aussies in there somewhere, but it'll be, Gypsies are loud, so you want a loud uniform. But literally, the music's going to be what's projected, not the uniform. The uniform, like I said, classic modern Crossman uniform.
What comes out of what's the direction of a lot of this stuff lately is, it used to be the uniform was a uniform, and then the guard was the thing that was modified for color and to portray the image of whatever the show was. Now we're starting to see more and more where the cores also are tied into that, so the uniforms may be changed from year to year to reflect what the show is. And this first shot out of the box with the 2014 uniform is tied to the show. There are panels on that uniform that will be changed from year to year to reflect whatever the show design is. And this year, because being our 40th year, I've been begged and pleaded with year after year to bring back the red. A lot of people remember the Crossmen as having a good bit of red on the uniform. Well, the red's back. But then the pattern that's on the front of the uniform is very reflective of the Gypsy brocade design. Ties the guard together with the core proper and with the show title and the show design.
Oh, I'm going to be so excited to see that at MMX.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
The weather's going to be perfect.
It better be, because last year was not.
We still pulled off a good show, though.
Yes, we did.
I mean, obviously, it was. We call it a static display in the Navy, but it's just sitting there. It's not going anywhere, but still put on a great show.
Yeah, the people loved it, and then we did the drumline battle promo afterwards, and a bunch of people hung around. But I would rather not subject them to a rainfall for 4 hours.
Knock on wood. We don't want that again. Yeah. So, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk about the volunteers after this one, because this commercial break is obviously going to be featuring our volunteers, the 151s, the best in the world. I tell you what, and Fred will acknowledge it, and I'll acknowledge it. You could not do anything without volunteers.
You got it. We don't go anywhere.
No.
We don't eat. We don't move.
No.
We don't get our uniforms on without help from folks.
Don't get on the field. Don't get off the field. It's incredible. Yeah. This is Fred Mark from ISpeakForYou.net and the Crossmen, and we'll be right back.
I'm Denise Ebersole. I'm with the Corps 4 years now. My oldest is entering his 4th year. My youngest is entering his 3rd year. And there isn't anything else in the world that our family would rather be doing.
My name's Marvin Irby. This is my first year to be involved with Drum Corps. My son Ryan's a contra player. This is his first year.
My name is Scott Reeves, and I head up the uniform department for the Crossmen. This is my 3rd year to work with the uniforms for the Crossmen.
I volunteer at all the camps because I drive my children plus some of the kids in our area that are in the Corps as well. So I drive them down, save them on bus fare, airfare. I do shuttle runs back and forth from the airport or bus stations for the kids who come in. I work food truck. I'll help out with uniforms or any other tasks they ask.
I've been working on the food truck today, fixing doors and shelves and just all other kinds of things, helping with the meals when it gets time.
We make sure that the uniforms are clean from time to time. And then the biggest thing that we do is to make sure that every member has a uniform that fits them in a very specific way. So we do a lot of alterations. We do a lot of tearing alterations out before the season starts, and then fitting every member with a uniform that fits as closely as possible, and then we alter it to make it fit them exactly.
My favorite part about volunteering is when we actually do get to take a break and we get to watch the rehearsal and you get to watch the show progress. Then when you see them on the field, you remember where you were when they were learning each part of the show.
Check. Adjust.
My daughter, Annie, will often at home be caught watching YouTube videos or our DVDs of Crossmen shows. And one of the DVDs that we had showed the tour buses of the brass section and the percussion section pulling into a show site. And when they do that, they put their section's flag up out of the bus. And she just kind of said in passing, the volunteer van needs its own flag. And so I thought that's not a bad idea. We do need our own flag to wave as we go into a show site. So I thought about that for a couple of days, and what could our flag look like? And what I did is created this flag. It reflects the parts that we in Uniform World made for the drum majors' uniforms a couple of years ago. These red and white sashes that speak back to the original Bones costume. And so I made a flag that has those red and white sashes on it. And then about halfway through making the flag, I thought, wow, this represents all the people who are behind the scenes, supporters and staff and fans and the volunteers, everybody behind the scenes who make this activity work on a day-to-day basis for the Crossmen, but we're not actually on the field. And then I thought about the Texas A&M has the concept of the 12th man. Everybody in the stands is the 12th man that's on the field. And so I thought there are 150 kids on the field, and all of us, we're all like that 151st kid, that if they needed one more to run onto the field, that would be us. So that's what the number is on there for. All of us behind the scenes people, we are all the 151st member of the Crossmen.
Oh, the 151s. What can you in one sentence, Fred? What can you say about that incredible group?
Well, you think about the 12th man and what it means up at A&M and the Seattle Seahawks who borrowed it from A&M. It just sets the tone. It helps everybody be in a good frame of mind when you have great support. And if you're ever down a little bit, they bring you back. And that's really the spirit of our volunteers and our 151s, is they feel like they're a big part of this thing, and we know they're a big part of this thing, and we encourage them.
When they roll out and they have their own shirts and they have their flag, their guide on, it's just the pride is there. Yeah. The pride of being part of the Crossmen. And like I said, and we've said before we went on the commercial break and played that bit, could not move, could not eat, could not do anything without the volunteers of the 151s.
Yeah, you wouldn't want Joel and I cooking, I promise you. And you wouldn't want Rico sewing. Now, Chelsea, she could probably get the uniform thing done.
I just had a vision of Rico with, like, Band-Aids all over his fingers.
Oh, yeah. And we would have burns everywhere on us from head to toe.
Is that casserole burned? Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Again. Yep. But now the 151s, folks, again, and as Gary's on the chat right now with everybody, you got to give back to what you love. You got to give back to your community. And there's a lot of folks that their children aren't in the Corps.
Right.
They're just doing it because they love to do it. I mean, Petey moved to San Antonio to be closer to take care of that.
To be able to take care of the food service. And he marched in the Corps back in the day, as they say.
Yes.
Probably early 80s, I'm thinking. So, that's the kind of thing it gets in your system. You can't get it out. It's a disease with no cure. And I believe probably every
disease
drum
with no cure.
Yeah,
I like
that's it. Probably every drum corps has a group of folks that make the difference for them, and our volunteers make the difference for us. So really appreciate them.
So obviously, how do folks volunteer? How do they get a hold of you and say, hey, what can I do?
They can go on the website, crossmen.org, and there's a tab there for volunteer and support, and they can register and their availability. They can put in their availability. They can look at our calendar to see, where we're going and where the holes may be as far as having help, and just sign up. Joel is our volunteer coordinator. I believe the address he's using for the volunteer communication is volunteers@crossmen.org or volunteer@crossmen.org. I think all of that is on the website also.
Right. Go to crossmen.org for more information. Obviously, follow on Twitter @Crossmen, because there's so much going on as we got the chat going on. Barry Huey, Bones in the house. I told Gary, if you win the 2 tickets, which we're going to give away here in about 4 minutes, he can definitely give those to one of his Texas high school band students. But you're going to have to win, and the question is going to be very tough. Very tough. We're not going to do what's the Crossmen website. That's too easy.
You're trying to get that trivia thing going, Mark. You're good at it. You keep people on their toes.
Well, we did the drummer thing. We did the percussion. We did the battery.
Right.
Joel came up with a brass one.
Okay.
I know the question I'm going to ask, and I don't think anybody's going to get it. I mean, if they get it, it's going to be awesome.
Good.
But I'm going to ask it here in 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
So we got to wait. We're going to stop talking, or we're just
No. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going because like I said, the move-in's coming. So what do you do as executive director? What do you do to prepare you and your staff for such a big feat?
Well, I would say Maureen goes a long way to helping us get our ducks
So
in
we
a
can
row.
never get on the microphone, by the way.
She won't, but maybe one day, Mark.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. It'll have to be a hidden microphone.
Ooh.
But you might be able to capture
I could
her
do that.
on a microphone.
I could do
one
that.
day. Remember, she was sitting here and was in
She
the
was.
studio audience and
She was.
would contribute from the studio audience.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a microphone over in that chair over
There
there.
you go.
So
That'll
she can,
work.
Yeah.
That'll
So
work.
what do you do to get everybody ready and get that mindset that here it comes?
Well, we have meetings every week, but we had a killer 3-hour one just yesterday, just to make sure that we had all of our ducks in a row. Because, things that people think of as obvious things, like getting the equipment ready, uniforms, all the gear that the Corps needs, from the color guard uniforms, their gloves. DSI provides us with a lot of great gear, but we got to know what the sizes are and get the stuff coming. Same with the Corps. We know we need our DSI gloves, and we need
Right.
our marching shoes, our DSI marching shoes. Well, we're not just going to say send us 120 pair. We got to have everybody sized up and ready. So all that stuff has been done behind the background, and now it's establishing the timeline to get it coming. All the supplies that in regards to the battery, as far as sticks, from our IP sticks and our Remo drum heads, that we got all that stuff ordered and come in the right sizes, the right quantities. So all that's being done, and one of my responsibilities is making sure all the equipment that goes down the road. They figured out that needs to be my bailiwick. So
Something else for you to do.
Something about being a mechanic at one time, I guess.
Right.
So I get to take care of that stuff, which I enjoy that. So I was shuttling trailers all around, and
I saw a burnt mattress on the side of the road the other day, and I thought of you.
yeah, it wasn't me this time.
I was like,
though.
I wonder where Fred is with the truck. But there's so much going on. Obviously, you got to get the Winnebago, which is not the Winnebago, but it's the Crossmen Mobile World headquarters,
Yeah.
I'll call it.
Yep.
You got to get that out, get it tuned up, get it ready to go.
Yeah, fortunately, the people at the storage yard, American Dream Vacations, they keep that thing busy, so it's being worked on and maintained because it's being used
Right.
all year. So they know I'm going to have it for the next 90 days, so it better be ready.
Right.
And it will be in great shape when I go roll over there and pick it up the Wednesday before we move in. And then we'll load it up because it's our mobile office, and that's our home away from home.
Yeah, and then obviously, folks, that's at Comalander Stadium, Blossom Athletic Center here in San Antonio. So much going on. Now, is it open to the public? I mean, I know the answer to this, but people, Anthony may not know. Is it open to the public to go watch during the day when things are going on?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We welcome folks to come out and watch. Now, some times of the day are better than others. If they're together in the stadium, obviously that would be a little bit clearer picture. Or if people are just all about drummers, they may find them during sectionals.
Oh, who's all
underneath
about drummers?
Underneath a couple of trees.
Right.
The bass drummers will be all together working together, and the snares will be underneath their trees for shade, and they'll
No,
do
snares
all
don't do that. Snares actually get out in the parking lot with the sun.
not this group. They're smarter than that, I think. They get enough sunshine, so they figure it out.
But of course, folks, if you are going to come down and watch the Crossmen in their spring practices and getting ready and stuff, one thing we do ask you is do not impede them.
Yeah, people are pretty well behaved. We haven't had any issues that way.
Except for me running on the field going, I need your autograph. And they're like, get security, get this guy out of here.
Well, you on the other hand, that's another story. But
they're like, that guy's special. Let him go. He's running around with a cone on his head. Let him go. But no, I mean, there's so much going on, and we really appreciate everybody listening and all their support for the Crossmen. Again, go to crossmen.org is the website. Crossmen or at Crossmen is the Twitter. And the question, I'm gonna give the color guard some love.
You need to.
I love the color guard.
You're
hard
just
work.
all about the drummers these days.
No. Color guard. I'm going about color guard because color guard is hard work.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I don't understand. I did a thing at Churchill's band, and I the color guard was down to work and everything, and I said, what was the worst thing you've ever heard? And one of the girls goes, we're not really part of the band. I go, no, you are part of the band. You are the band, because they would just be a bunch of folks looking like ants walking around without the color guard. And they were like, oh, thank you. And I was like, well, besides the drummers. But, you know, but no, the question is, and Gary's already getting ready to go, the question about the color guard for the Crossmen.
Okay.
How many members of the color guard do we have? It's a two-part question. How many do we have? And how heavy is the rifle?
Man, I have to get the scale out.
You got to get the scale
second
out.
Part. Yeah.
I'll make it easier. How heavy is the flag?
Oh, I don't know exactly.
Come on, you're the executive director.
I know,
and you're not eligible to
I
play
don't
anyway.
spin them. So,
all right. So that's the question, folks. Two-part question for our color guard of the Crossmen. How many members do we have, and also how much does the flag weigh?
Yeah, when you say that, you're talking about how many people will be on the field.
Yes, on the field.
Got it.
Not on the field.
Not in total.
Performers.
Right. Color guard performers on the field.
On the field. That's the question. Let's see if anybody gets it.
Okay. I know the answer to that one.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Somebody needs to, right?
Somebody's got to do it. So Gary's right now is probably researching. He's probably on the crossmen.org website.
He's listening to our past
right.
radio programs, and because we probably said it.
We did say it. I mean, it's hard work. I mean, anything part of DCI, of the Crossmen, obviously is dedication.
Well, they make it look easy, but you're right. They're some of the most athletic people we have in the Corps are in the Guard.
Yeah, when the young lady split her finger open last year at spring camp, and Rico, I think it was Rico or Eddie took her to the hospital. She came back and was like, okay. And I went, what? I'd be like laid up with my hand up going, I'm watching Days of Our Lives the rest of the day.
That was Chelsea, and we actually talked about that at one of the meetings at the last camp, you know, how that kind of stuff can happen, and, you know.
I mean, obviously you can't prevent that kind of thing, but how do you address that?
They wear gloves, so
right.
they stop the bleeding and covered it up and put on their gloves and went back at it. And they might have taped two fingers together so that that doesn't split as easily.
People that are listening are like, what?
Yeah,
take the fingers together.
Tough.
I mean,
if we have you know, a questionable situation,
right.
We call our favorite doctor from the area, Dr. Eva, and she'll come in and
Dr. Eva
or take a phone call and help us through some of those things. Yeah, one of the first things that happens at spring training is that Dr. Eva and the trainer go through all the medical files to see, you know, any issues that could arise or to know people's conditions and to be able to, so they're prepared to address anything that happens. And we got good help in that department.
Now, I saw on come out, no one's answered a question yet, two-part question. Of course, how many performing members are on the color guard that are on the actual field, and how heavy do the flags weigh? That's a two-part question, and you're going to get 2 tickets to the MMX on Friday night. So
how close do they have to get on the weight question?
Within 5 pounds.
Oh, okay. That should be easy enough.
Within 0.40. So this is the 40th year. Let's go ahead and do that.
Half a pound, basically.
Within half a pound. But no, I mean...
and which flag? Because, you know, flags are way different weights.
Here we go. Fred's going to get technical.
And if it's a swing flag or on a 6-foot pole or a 7-foot pole...
You can't get technical.
I'm telling you.
I just said, if you get within... Okay, of the different flags, if you get within 5 pounds of one of those...
Okay. Well, that opens it
because you come up with a swing flag is blah, and then you'll get it.
Okay.
But you have to also have the other part. How many performing color guard do we have on the field?
Yeah, that's the real question. Right?
Yeah.
So somebody gets that right.
If they get that right, they'll get the tickets.
and
I'm
then
just
they're
doing
closest
how.
to the weight. So who's going to weigh the flag? You going to ask Joel to weigh the flag?
Joel, can you wave the flag, please?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he can do it. He can do it. But there's so many things. I mean, obviously, we got the new uniforms coming. What happens to the old uniforms?
Well, we've had many thoughts about that, and we do those extra events,
Right.
so that may be a potential use for some of the uniforms. There is a market for used uniforms, and there are some people that specialize in taking care of some of that stuff.
Okay.
We would take whatever Crossmen markings, specific markings, off of them if we did that. But then there are folks that just, I want to own one of those. And, we'll make them available to people for a limited amount of time. And that money would go right back into the budget, to help support the Corps going down the road. And it might be a nice keepsake for somebody.
Now, I saw that also there's several positions open on staff for the season.
You know more than I do.
What?
Who is that?
Do you read Facebook?
No, I don't.
Really? It was on Crossman Facebook.
So who are they looking for?
Hold on, let me look. I hear my dog growling at my daughter underneath me right now. Yeah, you're looking for several positions, Fred, by the way, executive director. Just to let you know.
I have great help, Mark.
I know you have
They
great
take care of
help.
that stuff.
Those guys are amazing.
We are looking for Janet, our truck driver that's been on for a couple of years now. It looks like she's going to have her knee operated on, so she's not going to be able to drive this summer. We just got that word.
Yeah, here we go. Crossmen have a few summer positions available. Class 8, yep, CDL driver. Got to have that.
Yeah, and normally that was a no-brainer, easy, didn't ever have to worry about that. But this year something came up, and Janet's going to have to take care of that stuff. Yeah.
Athletic trainer.
Yeah, I believe we've got that one handled 90%. So
Okay.
I know that they're looking for someone to supplement that position.
And media interns.
That definitely, yeah.
Need those.
Yeah, we need those.
What does the media intern do?
Media intern will, run video cameras and record some audio, and also be involved in some of the creative and putting together some of the YouTube content that we've had in the past. So if anybody has gotten their fingers wet in that kind of stuff, that's been their area of interest, and that's what they're studying, this would be a perfect opportunity for them to use all the tricks in their bag. Zach Ashcraft had done that the last couple of years and did some pretty stupendous work, but he had pretty much free reign to do what he wanted to do, and we would view the stuff after he put it together, but he had the opportunity to use all those creative tools that he had developed. Zach's business has grown to the point where he can't jump on with us and be with us like he could in the past. So the door's open for someone with the same type of capabilities and same kind of interests. If they want to test their abilities, this will be a great testing ground for them.
Because it's such a big part of it. Because a lot of it's a learning tool.
Well, because so many people want to see what we're doing, but they can't necessarily be with us while we're traveling around. This is a window into what a typical day in the Crossman life is like, or what kind of experiences we're having as we're going down the road over the course of the summer. So, yes.
We're putting a trivia question on Crossman Facebook right now since we can't get any answers. And I'm surprised Gary doesn't know that one.
I bet Gary does.
I bet he's
just being
researching.
nice.
He's researching.
He's just being nice.
So we're going to put that on there right now.
He's giving somebody else a chance.
He's giving him a chance. Because he's already won tickets. Oh, here we go. Vent course from iTex. Please repeat the question. My laptop decided to implement updates and reboots. Oh, mine did that. Mine did that last night. I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? You're going to do it right now? I was in the middle of making commercials.
Making commercials?
Yeah.
How about if it was in the middle of a show? That would be a bummer, huh?
Fred, Do not say that. Okay, the question was, for those out there who's getting their computers rebooted, is how many performing color guard performers do we have on the field during the show?
For 2014.
For 2014.
Yes.
Fred, you're getting more technical.
Well, we need to pin it down because it
All
could
right.
be different.
For 2014, for
Yes.
this season,
Yes.
for the 40th year,
Yes.
how many color guard performers do we have on the field?
Right.
That's a two-part question. That's part A. If you actually get that one right, you actually will win the tickets. But part B, for the extra credit, I will say, is you must know how much do the flags weigh.
Flag and pole together.
Oh, here we go. See, getting technical.
If it's
Getting
just the
technical.
flag, that'll be hard to tell.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And-
good luck if
and
you go to a
it's-
weight room,
and
which
it's
I know you do every day.
It's a 6-foot flagpole, not a 7-foot.
Is it aluminum?
flagpole. It's aluminum.
Is it steel?
No, it's aluminum.
Aluminum. Okay. Is it high-grade aluminum?
And it would be with the weights that are inside.
Is it carbon fiber?
It's just aluminum tubing.
See, you're getting technical. Oh, Fred, I've missed you, my friend. But no, it's one of those things like it should be an easy question because they can just go to crossmen.org and look.
Probably.
I would think.
Yeah.
Not how much they weigh, but how many color guard performers do we actually have
Right.
on the field in 2014 for the 40th anniversary year?
Yes. Yes. I agree.
So, because I know, it's different, the weight of the flag, because I know you who go to the gym every day, when you bench press 500 pounds, if you take the 500-pound weights off, you're only benching 45 pounds.
The bar is a lot lighter. Yeah.
Yes. But you yourself, my friend, benching 500 pounds.
You got too many zeros on that one.
You got too many zeros. It's just basically 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But, Vint came up with it.
He did.
He did. 36
That's right. That's correct.
and 8.
8 pounds? We'll have to weigh one because I'm not.
Yeah, we don't even know,
positive.
Vint.
Yeah.
We're just throwing that out there. We didn't know
Yeah.
what the weight was.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's more than 8
I
pounds.
think when you phrase your questions, it needs to be more of a,
You're getting technical.
a question that they
At the
can
first-
answer. Like, what did the Crossmen play in 1992 that is in the show in 2014? Something like that.
Shh, that's next week's. That's next week's question. 36.
Very good, Vint.
Vint, congratulations.
You've been paying attention.
Congratulations, Vint. You are the winner of 2 tickets to the MMX, which is June 13th.
Hey, by the way, the iTex program is running fast.
It
and
is. I'm getting
furious.
iTex like
You
all
getting
day.
your text? Yeah, some pretty cool stuff on there too.
Because everything's, it's just Crossmen. But no, University of Alabama's on board with it. It's a huge program.
Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge program. Event, of course, iTex Guru on the chat right now. He did get the answer right, so he is the winner chicken burrito dinner with a little side of cheese on there, some queso.
Are you saying Vince cheesy?
No, I'm not saying he's cheesy.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying he won some queso.
Okay.
So while you guys are working, he said Gary is running a finite element analysis on that question. Gary is nuking it, as we used to call it in the Navy. He's like, you don't need to nuke the answer. Just give me the plain answer.
4.73 pounds.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Is that with? Yeah.
I don't know.
On what
It's-
scale?
It's like, what's the velocity of a sparrow?
On what
From
scale?
Mighty Python? Yeah. Well, it would be my scale. It has to be my scale.
Not the scale in your bathroom. Oh, my goodness. So, moving dates coming up, Fred. I know you're excited about it. You get the Winnebago back. But who... Obviously, the sleeping arrangements at Blossom are a little bit different, but who actually stays in the Winnebago during the spring training?
Well, Ed Devlin's here most of the time.
Right.
So he'll take the master bedroom, and the rest of the admin team. There's plenty of spots there. When that thing's parked and
All the slide
spread
outs are
out,
open, yeah.
there's space for 9 people.
Gary said he's still waiting. He's got a slow computer. I'm telling you, love you guys. It's amazing because so much going on. The Crossmen got new uniforms this year, the 40th anniversary. How excited are you to be a part of this tremendous year?
Well, I was pretty excited at 35 years, and when we originally took this project on, I told Maureen that it would be 5 years, and I keep telling her it's 5 years. So I'm still here, and it's year 40. So, and I'm still having fun with it. I still enjoy it a lot. There's nothing like 200 people going down the road together for a common cause. Nothing like it. that is the ultimate team effort. So
that's so
really
awesome. We're
enjoy
gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna talk about that going down the road because we're headed to the West Coast this year.
Yes.
And that's gonna be amazing. Again, this is Fred Mark with the Crossmen, the Bones Hour, Crossmen.org, or on Twitter at Crossmen. We'll be right back.
I've heard it said that what makes a good baritone section is that you don't notice them until you're supposed to, and that's something that I think we do really well at the Crossmen is that the baritones fill out the middle of the chord and they really raise the volume and the power of what we play.
My instrument, I heard it described as the meat and potatoes of the horn line. It kind of connects the tubas to the rest of the brass sound, and I really like how we do that, especially the thirds where I am. Because we stand right next to him, we play right next to him, and we blend everything together.
I think the baritone puts out a very round sound. If you can play it well, it's not too bright, it's not too low. Someone said it's in like the singing octave, and I think it's good, it sings. It's a good one.
Well, I'm a rookie this year, and marching among so many experienced members is definitely a challenge just because they all know what they're doing very well. They've all done this multiple times, especially spring training, and they know how to push and all that stuff, whereas a lot of rookies just go into survival mode during the show. But the key thing to remember is pushing hard now is going to be rewarding in August, and to get out of survival mode and just to work very hard now is going to be worth it in the end. And it really helps knowing that those people pushed through their tough years, their tough rookie years, and spring training back then and all that stuff. The baritone section brings to the Crossmen a kind of camaraderie that I don't think other sections can bring. And we also do a very good job of working hard and then, having fun off the field. But when it's time to work, we do the work, and we usually get things done on the first rep pretty well. We don't make a lot of mistakes, and we take rehearsal seriously. But when it's time to have fun, we definitely, make some fun out of it. Marching baritone definitely has its positives and negatives. I guess the positives would be the fact that you don't chop out like a lead trumpet player does. You can keep playing, and it really doesn't do much damage to your face if you take care of yourself. But the negatives would be, I guess, just the fact that you have to hold, a solid 7 or 8 pound instrument in front of your face all the time, whereas a lot of the horn line doesn't have that same challenge at all. And it definitely shows up in marching and stuff like that. It's a major challenge. But in the end, that's rewarding too, because you get some pretty good shoulder muscles. So,
just the activity in general, not just the Crossmen, but drum corps at all, really helps you realize your potential and then pushes it and expands that to really, really figure out what you're made of and what you can do. And you find out that it's amazing what you get used to.
Someone once told me, sprint to the end and don't just walk when you get to that last lap. That's something that you can apply anywhere.
My name is Alex Pipkins.
My name's Tim Stevenson.
My name's Edgar Ortiz.
I'm Dominic DeSantis.
I'm the baritone section leader.
And I march baritone with the Crossmen.
I'm a rookie here at Crossmen.
And I am an upper split lead baritone rookie at the Crossmen Drum and Bugle Corps.
So that's that was a quick contest.
Yeah, Gary posted that picture pretty quickly, didn't he?
He did. It was literally within moments. That's a great picture. So we got my 5-year-old in the studio drawing art for us. Of course, Fred, being technical, is like techniquing me or instructing me on my art criticism.
That's the elementary school teacher in me.
Yeah, see, I'm the New York guy. What is that? And you're like, no, you're supposed to say, tell me about your beautiful art. I'm like, what is that? But no, congratulations, Gary and Vint, both winners today.
I know.
They got 4 tickets to the MMX. Of course, Gary's already a winner, so he's got 6 tickets now.
He's going to have to start giving those away.
He's going to need to get a little bus to drive over here.
I think he needs to call the friends at Gotta Go Trailways and fill that bus up.
I'm telling you, because he's like, can you post his pic to Facebook? Yes, Vint, we will do that. But no, he's already a CDL. He's already got a bus license.
Really?
Yeah.
So all he needs to do is fill it up.
All I do is go, everybody get on. We're going to San Antonio.
That's it.
So, but it's amazing. So, by the way, Gary, bring your drum line.
Yes, we have a drumline battle going on. It would be good to have another group. That'd be fun.
Besides Joel and I competing against each other, we got the Genesis, we got the Guardians.
Yes. And I know that there's some other folks talking
right.
to Joel and to Rico about that. So I'm not sure how many are going to end up being there, but it should be a fun night. Be a good deal. Oh, by the way, there is some breaking news. The guys from Gotta Go have changed their name to Echo Transportation.
Really?
Yeah, they've bought another company. They've doubled the size of their company and the number of motor coaches that they have.
Beautiful.
And they brought that under Echo Transportation. So the Crossmen will change that name on our website and the link, and then also the uniform patch will be different this year, and the signage. On all of the different pieces of equipment will be changed out before we hit the road this summer.
So there's a lot of work to be done in the next few weeks.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm gonna need 5-hour energies.
Well, I'll be available. See, I'm in town that week. I won't be here. But I'm thinking,
see that? The week we talk about how much work there is, Mark's going to be gone that
24, 25, 26. I'm at the state championships up north in Frisco.
Yeah.
Then I'm home literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday I go to Oklahoma City for races on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
And then I'm home. For like 3 weeks I have no races.
And
that's Crossman time.
Good. Perfect.
So I can work.
Good. We're going to put you to work.
Yay. I got a job. We're gonna
put you in the food truck with Petey.
Oh, you don't want me cooking. Like you said,
he'll keep you under control. He'll make sure you're taught properly.
Within 5 minutes, Freddie's going to be over in your office going, who is this guy?
Get this guy out of my hair.
He can't even cut onions. Get him out of here. It's crazy.
And then you can help me put all the signage on the vehicles.
You do a lot of that.
Yes, and we're going to have some work to do this summer.
All right. So we'll do some work.
All
but
right.
there's so much. We're so happy to be here. The Crossmen getting ready for the season, the 40th anniversary. There's not a lot of drum corps still around after all this time.
Yeah, I bet back when the Crossmen first got started, you heard stories about 100 corps showing up at championships.
Right.
And now there may be 40 or 45. But I will tell you this, there have been a number of new groups spawned. Economy has to have an effect on things, and the last 4 years haven't been the greatest. So we lost some groups. But now we probably have 4 new groups over the last 2 years, which is pretty special.
And obviously, Sound Sport is huge in that innovation. Drumline battle is huge in that. DCI pretty much reinventing itself because now we're in theaters.
Oh yeah, the theater broadcast is incredible. There'll be over 40,000 people watching in that movie theater. So
I'm going to ask you the question, Fred. Where do you see DCI in? So obviously, you're on the board of directors for that as well. But where do you see DCI in the next 5 years?
I think we continue working and growing our audience, and the virtual audience is going to play a big part in that. When you think about the population of the globe and how many people are involved in the marching arts, for us to have an audience of 50 to 100,000 people watching when we have our championships on Saturday night, because there's 20,000 people in the stadium and then the other 70 or 80,000 people are watching on their little device or their big screen TV or whatever, is not out of the realm of possibility. And I think it just continues to build on that. We get more and more activity going on in China and Japan and Europe. All those groups are growing. DCI is at the pinnacle of the marching arts, so we kind of set the tone, and people look up to DCI and the groups that are in DCI for leadership, and we're going to try and continue to do that. The message is always excellence, to demonstrate excellence, and people will want to do that. I want to do that. I want to be a part of that. We have 2 Japanese members this year, which, you're seeing the global reach.
Are they percussionists?
One is a brass player, and the other is a guard member.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, 2 young ladies from Japan. And we've had many percussionists from Japan try out, and occasionally we'll have 1 or 2 make it. That didn't happen this year. We had them try out, but they didn't make it. I think this may be the first time we've had a horn player from Japan in probably 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Good stuff.
So it's an international thing. A lot of folks, obviously San Antonio's on board with the Crossmen now. They had a big thing, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? The nonprofit.
Oh, yeah, the Big Give in San Antonio. That has been started in other communities. And I know that my friend Mark Arnold from the Blue Knights, the director over there, told me about the Big Give Denver that has been going on for probably, 5 or 10 years. And this is the first year that San Antonio has had that. And Crossmen have benefited from it. I believe we had about $1,600 or $1,700 donated to the cause over the course of that day. And it was because of the community getting behind its nonprofit groups and people kicking in some money to help us. So it's a pretty good day. It's a good start.
It is a good start because, obviously we're the only world-class drum corps here in Texas. And there's so many great musicians here. And I mean, obviously, there's folks that have tried out for the Crossmen and obviously other DCI corps, but they may be top in their schools. And as we talked about, it was the very first question I've ever asked you, and I think that was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, is what do you recommend for folks that want to try out for DCI or the Crossmen? And you said practice, practice, practice.
Right. That hasn't changed.
And that hasn't changed.
No. Yeah, practice. And if I wanted to be a member of the 2015 Crossmen, I'd be hard at work right now. And then as soon as that page goes live for registrations for November, for the November camps, that'll happen by the end of July during the season, I would be signing up so I could get that music in my hands so I can practice the music that I'm going to audition on. So it's about hard work. There's just no doubt about it. But anything that anybody ever wanted that was worthwhile usually was difficult. It wasn't, something that you just, fall out of bed and know how to do it at a high level, that you really have to work at things that you really enjoy and are worthwhile. So I'm getting more artwork here. This is wonderful.
The 5-year-old, she hasn't taken off her school outfit yet, her school uniform. She loves staying in that thing.
That's good. That's good.
And by the way,
school is a good thing.
She went from learning piano to drums.
She did.
Now,
well, you know that piano is a percussive instrument.
I do know.
Yeah, so she's right there in the family of percussive instruments.
She's doing well, and she actually learning the drums, the notes, and everything. Learned how to read music a lot faster than her 10-year-old brother.
Uh-oh.
So he's kind of upset about that, but.
Well, he's going to play the baritone in the Crossmen.
Yes, and she's going to be a snare drummer in the Crossmen.
That'll be awesome. there have only been, I think, in our history of the Crossmen, three female snare drummers. So we would welcome Shelby in that area. That would be good.
There you go.
We'll introduce her to Brandon and the guys, and they can teach her how to become a snare drummer.
And you told me something off air, and we can't talk about it, but hopefully next week we'll be able to put that out.
Okay. All right.
Amazing. Amazing. But, of course, get ready, ladies and gentlemen. The season is upon us. If you have a child or you're on the design team or whatever, thank you so much for your support of the Crossmen. Go online, crossmen.org. If you are a fan of the Crossmen, but you don't have a child who's marching, you don't have any association with the Crossmen, please come on out and volunteer. Join the 151s and join us for the season and get ready for a great year.
Yeah, some of our biggest supporters are folks that marched in other corps when they were growing up that aren't around anymore. And they want to be involved because they know how valuable that experience was for them when they were growing up. So we welcome them. You could be from, I don't know, the Guardsmen.
There you
go. That from Schaumburg, Illinois, that marched in the 70s and early 80s and are no longer in existence. We'll welcome you at Crossmen. Come give us a hand.
There you go. It's so amazing. Crossmen.org. Follow on Twitter at Crossmen, which we've got the photos already up of Gary on Facebook. And he's like, this is my shocked face mark, drums. And again, thanks everybody for chatting with us and everything. Of course, it's every week, 1:30 to 2:30 on Thursdays. Here is the Crossmen Show, otherwise known as Bones Hour. It's going to get more and more in depth as we're coming up to the move-in date. And then once a move-in date happens, ladies and gentlemen, the shows will be at the actual stadium, and we're going to bring in folks to talk to veterans, to age-outs, to staff, to newbies. It's just going to be amazing. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be an amazing year, 40th year.
Yep, hard to believe, huh?
I can't believe I was 6 years old when the Crossmen started.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little older than that.
I was waiting for it. But again, folks, thanks a lot, so much from the bottom of our hearts from Fred and I. God bless. Fred, do you have anything to say?
Just thank everybody for all your support and help and helping the uniform drive become a success, and volunteering for this entire cycle that we wouldn't have the success that we've had without that help. And it sure makes our life a lot easier. So thank you, everybody. And we look forward to seeing you. Move-ins are May 23rd at Blossom. We'll be there 5 p.m., so come on and give us a hand.
Yeah, we'll do a show from there. 23rd, I'm in town.
Right.
I can do that.
Good deal.
We'll do a show that night.
All right.
And literally get people as they're walking in, with their sleeping bags and 56-inch plasma flat screens and all their fun stuff. But again, folks, thanks for listening. Obviously, check out the Crossmen Facebook page. Look at Gary and his bright, smiley face. And follow on Twitter, of course, at Crossmen. This is Russian Christmas, and we will talk to you next week. God bless. Take care, and be safe.
Thanks, Mark.